Hey y'all, I was looking up some stuff about the name I hate the most, and you probably know which one that is. That's Yahweh. I don't like that name. And well, what I did was I got to do some looking up and everything, and I put it in there, Yahweh Rudolph Kittle, and so it took me to a website, and you might want to write this down: www.tetragrammaton.org. Okay, and I think in chapter 12, where it was talking about the names, whether it was Jehovah or Yahweh or something like that, that it says that in the matter of fact, the New American Standard Version, that it admits that they said is Yahweh, but we're not going to use that name. If we use it, it's YHWH instead of Yahweh, because there's some things in there that we don't agree with, and it's not complete. Something. Well, why don't I just go ahead and read it to you? So here it is right here. I think it's 1973 NASB, and it says it is known for many years that YHWH has been translated as Yahweh. No complete certainty attaches to this pronunciation. However, it is felt by many who are in touch with the laity of our churches that this name conveys no religious or spiritual overtones. It is strange, uncommon, and without sufficient religious and devotional background. No amount of scholarly debate can overcome this deficiency. Hence, it was decided to avoid the use of this name in the translation proper. So they decided not to use it because even though they say, oh, that's God's name, but we're not going to use it, and it just really doesn't have a lot of meaning. So why would they even put that in there? That just doesn't make sense. And that's what that chapter 12 or 13 was talking about in that tetragrammaton.org. And then it goes on further to say that Yahweh, which I already figured that out, it's pretty much a name to kind of go against. On onemessiah.org, I think it's called, to go against Jehovah. Basically, what Yahweh is a marketing tool. So, in other words, besides Jehovah, the true name of God, as it says in the Authorized Version, it's Yahweh because it's a Canaanite God, and there's no proof in the Hebrew Bible as far as what Kittle wrote, whatever Rudolph Kittle, the anti-Semitic German-hating Jew hater rather, sorry, or what he wrote. It also goes back to a fellow by the name of Gilbert Jeanbrard, who was a French, I think, bishop, and he had the audacity, the gall, to say that no, it's not Jehovah Jehovah, it's Yahweh. And he pretty much started it like that. But before that, there was Theodoret in the 5th century who called the Lord Yahweh or something like that. Couldn't say it right. So that started with that. Then Jim Brard, and of course Rudolph Kittle, the using of the divine name. And so there you go. But really, basically, Gilbert Jeanbrard kind of really started it up, and Rudolph Kittle went with it. And so that was in the 1530s, and then Rudolph Kittle, of course, was in the 1920s, 1930s. So, well, actually, before he died in 1929. So there you go. That's how it all started. So when you use the name Yahweh, again, it sounds like a drunk yelling, Yahweh! That's basically what it sounds like. But when you say Jehovah, it's like a dip in coming out of. It's like a baptism, of the Spirit. Jehovah, and Yahweh is like you're drunk. It's like saying the drunk person's name. And there's so many conflicting information about the word Yahweh, Yahshua, Yahoo, Yah, and all this other stuff. concerning being a Canaanite god and one of the gods, and to inferior god to the other god El, and things like that. So, there's a lot of things in there that go against Yahweh. A lot of names that go against Yahweh. A lot of information that goes against the word Yahweh. Yeshua, Yah, and, Yahoo, and whatever else you call them. There's so much information that goes against it, and it shows a negativity on that name, Yahweh, what it would be soon called. So there's nothing really sacred about that name. It just shows a lot of, like I said, a lot of negativity, and there's nothing against, of course, the name Jehovah. Of course, yeah, the J looked like an I. If the I was in front of a name, then that was to be used as the J. If the I was in the name, it would be used for emphasis of a sound. Okay, but being the I was in front of the E in Jehovah, it was to be pronounced as J, the J sound. So, people want to argue with there was no J, this and that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it looked like. And you see a lot of, but even at that, before the 1600s, you see a lot of the I used, and it looked like a J. Because even though it was I, it still looked a lot like a J. So anyway, that's the story on that. And it was interesting to me how this old Bible here from the NASB, it says, well, hey, we're not going to use that because we just don't have a lot of, information, and we just don't think it's right. So even though, it even tells you that Rudolph Kittle's Biblia Hebraica is in this thing here. And that's one of the things they use for the Hebrew text. It says, in this present translation, the latest edition of Rudolph Kittle's Biblia Hebraica has been employed together with the most recent light from lexicography, cognate languages, and the Dead Sea Scrolls. Maybe you can't see it, but anyway, it's right there. There you go. I can't make this up. Okay, so even though this thing is like 40 years, almost 49 years old, almost 50 years old, this Bible here, there are many, many like it, and especially these New Age versions that use Nestle Allen. They used UBS, United Bible Societies, and things like that. And of course, Biblia Hebraica, where there's Stuttgart Cynthia or Quinta, which is the newer developed one. Things like that. They're getting to a point now where they're going with everything that Rudolph Kittle and Paul Kell said, based on their information from the Codex Leningrad, which was likely a corruption back in 1009. I think that was Ben Asher or something. And, of course, the Aleppo Codex. So Paul Kell, after Rudolph Kettle died, he went from going to the Aleppo to the Leningrad, which, was, of course, a corruption. Evidently, it's a corruption. But anyway, and that's all the name Jehovah is. Not Jehovah. That's all the name Yahweh is. Yahweh is a corruption of the name Jehovah. It's a barbarism, as they call it in writing. And so it's to compete against the name Jehovah, and to call some marketing strategies and things like that. So if people change God's name and everything into something new and different, with everybody else being all the wiser, then that's the way they make money, because nobody really wants to know the true name of God, which is Jehovah. So everybody wants a new thing, and these and those people out there who are buying these New Age version Bibles and these other books and everything and study guides are being sheep led to the slaughter, and they listen to everything that the pastors and deacons and overseers say, and not the true words of God, because they're brainwashed, and they need help.